What? Are they like still friends?
Yeah. He was just hopping around.
What?
I didn't even know it was a bud because I thought it was just a cat freaking out until this.
Cute. Some good food. Ah, hey, Angie.
Hi, Angie.
Gonna be messing with some golems. Golems and chickens. That doesn't sound like a weird combination. I should probably set up that command actually. There we go. The info command should work now. Super flat? Yeah, I want a super flat. Oh, what you doing? Huh?
Breed the chickens out and stuff.
Oh, it's good. Good food. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna need to do is give myself the research for Thaumcraft, because none of this works without that initially. To that end, I'm going to pull out some tools real quick that I'm going to need. This one's the most important. It's called the Golemancer's Bell. Edgy, you know what this is. You can tinker with golems, you can tell them to do things with it. Oh, beautiful. I have a home that I can invade and just take over for this project. No one lives here anymore except, except purifying fluid.
You left the door.
Which ones? Oh.
Doors.
Whoops.
You know, the only doors that matter.
Yeah.
For a second, I walked into the kitchen and I was like, where's the cow?
This is my drowning box. Yeah. I can't take care of this, your family.
Clearly.
I need the golems to do it, but they're not smart enough yet. They can, I think, but as long as there's an attached inventory and I can make it convoluted enough, it might take 6 or 7 of them, but and like redstone too. But I can make it good. I can make them like interactive stuff and good. That's a project for another day, though. When I'm literally so lazy that I can't feed myself in Minecraft.
Really not that hard. Literally set it up so
I was getting ready to put some golems in the greenhouse so that they'd start gathering automatically.
that would be cool.
Oh, you want? Would you like me to do that?
Well, you don't have to do it right now. Do what you're doing.
It's really easy though.
No, it's
Like I don't have to do it now, but.
fine. It's okay.
All right, time for an unpleasant sound.
This gives me something. So you can speed. What? Forgot to grab carrots.
There's the fun sound.
That one.
So now I am insane as shit. I've actually just been throwing eggs. It's actually more efficient than breeding them at this point. I'm gonna try and get some of this warp under control. Like, we've just gone full insane now. I've got to figure out a way to make my mouse hold. My keyboard is going to hold down my mouse correctly. I'm going to go get the other thing of food that I have. Here, man. He's going to take a bath meanwhile. Filthy dirty boy. Oh. Look at all that permanent warp scrolling on my screen. The pressure plate where? Oh, that's to fuck with Soul or kick out if they're invisible. I'll know they're walking up and down the stairs. I've heard it go off a few times and I've just thrown lightning into the house.
have a feeling those messages are just going to stop.
This is how crazy you do it.
Okay, got my food. Still don't know how effective this was. But that does not matter. What's it called?
Casper!
Pretty sure I'm gonna have to make it. Yeah. Oh well. There are insanities manageable enough now. So I think for the purposes of this, I'm going to work within the limitations of clay golems. Just for now. So, our goal is to make an entirely autonomous process for throwing eggs onto the ground to hatch chickens, have the golems pick up the eggs beforehand when they lay them, sort them to another area entirely, and transport chickens to a blood altar to pretty much die. So, doing that won't be hard. The challenge will be figuring out how to make it small. Make it compact enough that it isn't aggravating to replicate. And, you know, easy to tuck away somewhere, like behind a wall. You don't need to know what's happening to those chickens. I'll just call it KFC and, you know, it'll be done. Truly is void chicken. Oh, before I even make the fences, let's introduce our stars. So golems need something called an animation core to work. Without it, they don't do anything. They're not alive until you've given them one. They just kind of stand around. So, the good thing about that is when you set down a golem for the first time, it deploys that space as their home block, which is shown here. There's your pizza. most basic thing a golem can do is pick stuff up. So, knowing that, we need to set their home on a container of some kind. In this case, we're going to be using standard chests. Now, the golem will always return here, and it doubles as the first thing they interact with. And this is going to be important for their animation core, which is going to be... should be Phil. Yep.
What movie?
So we'll go with Gather as the first one. And then Empty as the second one. Double chests are cool for golems in that you can have two golems interacting with the same chest and have them have different functions. And that's what's going to be the pretty much the backbone of how this works. So we'll have the outside, no, we'll have the inside ones be the gatherers. And they will start doing their thing. Okay, so chickens only drop 2 items naturally that I know of, and those are feathers and eggs. They drop nothing else, so the sorting algorithm does not need to be complex for them. So what we're going to do now is we're going to teach the outside golem how to empty. Now, empty's cool in that this first block is what they interact with. It's the same with the inside golems. Since I put all of them on their chests, they will interact with their individual chests. So, now, this golem will empty this chest where I tell it to. So will this one. They don't have any explicit instructions yet, but if I get a feather, no, I don't. It's the egg then. So I'm going to tell them to only remove eggs. I guess by throwing it at them. Okay, so we've got the basic setup for this going. They will collect both eggs and feathers, but they will ignore the feathers, and the feathers will be what are accumulating in these chests. So we got that out of the way. The next thing to know about golems is that they operate 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16 blocks by default in any direction. So their operating radius is actually pretty wide, even from the get-go. I don't want them to do anything fancy, so I'm not going to expand their vision range. They only need to operate within 16 blocks. So what I'm going to do instead of that is I'm going to make the enclosure one smaller than what they can see. That way if something falls outside of it, they don't get sidetracked trying to pick up stuff from, say, enemies burning in the sun, or maybe a chicken's stuck on the outside of the fence and they decide that they want to get that egg that landed on the other side. And they create their own problems that way, because they want to get out. I don't know how, but I have found my golems on the main thing outside of their enclosure about 6 times now, because they wanted to grab a feather and then they got stuck outside picking up that feather. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume this block is a golem. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, let's make it bigger than what they can see. I think it's 17. Okay, so this might actually be able to fit in my tower, come to think of it. So 17 blocks and a radius around them. Okay. We will build our enclosure with that in mind then. I'll base the entire tower size probably off this blueprint. Because I won't need any more space than this. I think this is actually bigger than what I would need for a runic matrix, as far as just raw radius area around it. So that worked out somehow. I'm pleased. And we won't need this inner partition, so that was just for Just for figuring out how big this needed to be. Recreating this is going to be a pain in the ass if I need more golems than I want to work with. But that's fine. Okay. So our next step of business is making sure the chickens can't wander next to the fence. So in order to do that, I'm going to pull out some paving stones of warding. Now what these do, they act like invisible fences, but entities like players can pass through them. They're designed to keep, I'm pretty sure, dangerous mobs out, but this might still work for us. And if it turns out that I need to do a little more with this, I have some alternatives. But I'll do this for now. These will keep the chickens always at least one block away from the outermost edge of the gate. It might keep the golems out from it too, but that's fine. That's why I set their radius to be bigger than the fence to be a little bit bigger than their operating radius, so I can put this in here. It's a nice healthy red glow. I might not be able to build this underground either because I'll need sunlight. So I might put it on the top of the tower if this works out. Here's what we got so far. Chickens go in, chickens don't leave. What are you doing? And of course we gotta test it, so... Let's go ahead and make this a nightmare. Our golem friends are going to be really busy soon. So, in fact, yep, there they go. In fact, I might need to give them an upgrade so that they move faster to accommodate this bullshit. So we'll go ahead and give them air. Oh, air upgrades. Okay. Now we'll be giving all of them the air. Wait, no. I'll only need the 2 for the gathering ones. The transfer ones are going to need weight upgrade. So we'll do earth for the other ones. For the empty. Will be zippy. These will be strong. and it looks like the paving stones are keeping them out as intended. So that's good. They're well within the confines, so they should never really drop the anything outside of that radius for grabbing. Maybe they do need to see more. No? Did you grab it? Might need to push in these outer corners. Doesn't look like they're seeing that far out. Now time to troubleshoot. They're gonna be kind of busy.
Alright, you should have plenty of food now.
Alright, thank you.
Check it out.
Oh lord.
I'm gonna be harvesting the corn. Fucking Myrtle shows up, fills the fridge, and leaves.
Okay, you can see about that far. Is that right? I gotta fine tune this before I. Yeah, they're gonna be busy now, the golems. Kinda have to do that. picking it up now. There's a lot of good chicken in this chest. The end of this. The simpler I can make this, the better, though. Or the more efficient I can make this, the better. Simplicity's not gonna matter much when we get into the blood altar part of this and the dispensers. Freedom was always optional. There's going to be a lot of dead chicken. Either way, succeed or fail today. If they were just... They're gonna get in the way otherwise. And I'll fine-tune these corners. Because their radius, it looks more like a circle than anything. If I could find where the, where it starts tapering in, I could figure that out from there. Now we look kind of like a old school health sign. Oh, hey, thanks, Stupidly Kind. Oh, no. And thank you for the bits. I'm currently messing with connecting two mods together functionally. I'm gonna automate a chicken farm, for one, so I can get the meat, get the eggs, get all that nice stuff. But then second, more insidious part, is I'm going to have chickens be delivered. So pretty much get wrecked at a blood altar. I need to set that up. Yo, there's no escape now. So I got the first half of this set up because they're gathering everything I need. The outer golems are derpy right now because they have nothing to do. But let's fix that now. Let's make it so they have something to do. Let's make them useful. So from here, I'm going to expand their area of operation a bit. To where the center looks kind of like this. My gather boys. I'm gonna need you two to hang tight for a sec. Because we've got something else more important to do. So, golems have two really simple rules that most of their functions work off of. Wherever you place them is their home. And if their home's an inventory, you don't have to tell them to interact with it. That is basically their storage space. So knowing this, anything that has storage can be considered a home or an interaction point for a golem. So for instance, the chests are their home that they just stand on and return to. They put the stuff in there and they take it out. I'd assign them to do that. But it doesn't just have to be chests. They can do this with Spencers, they could do this with item grates, they could do this with any mod item that designates this as a container. Oh, I'm having to work with that. Now we're good. I could be insane. So starting from here, I'm going to tell the outer golems that they need to work with an item grade. One apiece. I will put the thing that'll make this work underneath it. I might not even need that low. Let's see. Yeah, we only need to go one space in between them. So these are going to be the core of the delivery system. Now I've got to tell them. Let's make a mock setup for the other area first, and we'll do it with hungry chests. So hungry chests are funny. Yeah, I'll show you what they do on the surface actually. Any item that you could pick up that lands beside it, if it's an entity of some kind, it will actually eat that item. And it'll end up in here. So they suck in the items, and they hold on to them. Now this is nice because I can tell it to do something fun. I'll use stone to figure this out. So let's say we have a hungry chest in the ground somewhere. We will make it so that the exit mirror will drop them off like that. So we've got one linked mirror. Stick another chest there. And because these are linked via the mirrors, I can put these delivery systems literally anywhere I want. I could put it in another dimension, and it would still work. So I just got to figure out how to make these compact now. So I'm going to go with as minimalistic an approach as I can initially, which is just this. Then this is what, very basically what these would look like. Make it look like a structure almost. You get the gist of it. It'll be in a wall somewhere. The important part starts with the golems, though. So now that we have these delivery systems set up, I will go ahead and stick some open setting item grades. To the ground. And these act like dispensers. So I can tell a golem to interact with it. So we're getting somewhere. These guys, I'm going to tell them that they will interact with crates. And they will start oh, okay. What's up? Okay, there he goes. So, we will now start to offload items into the grid and ignore the feathers that I told him to ignore. Well, he'll ignore everything, looks like. So even better. Just get rid of all these extraneous items for the sake of figuring this out. It's simpler. But, told him to interact with that one. So I will tell you that you need to interact with this one. And I'll break you. And then. Now he does the same thing. Alright, cool. So that's step 1 done. We've made a delivery system. Let's go ahead and put our friends back down. And we can watch how this works at a distance. Now, this is completely automated. The inner golems will gather the items. The outer golems will find the eggs. They'll deposit them into the grates. And then from there, they'll get transported to the delivery area, which will be probably by the altar. Now I gotta figure out how to deliver full-grown chickens to that altar. Actually, let's continue on with this logic and have more clay golems. And now we're setting the home points for these on the hungry chests. We're gonna pop some good old dispensers down. Okay. So now I can make this absolutely ridiculous. Let's say that these aren't enough chickens. We don't have enough chickens. I need more chickens. I'm dissatisfied with the number of chickens that I currently have. So I'll burn them first, so we can see what's gonna go down here in a bit. Oh, my poor golems. They're gonna be real busy. I don't want to have to burn these chickens, but I want to burn these chickens. Okay, we've only got a handful left. Good. So I'm dissatisfied with the number of chickens that I have. I have no chickens now. I could have said that before, but now I am dissatisfied with the number of chickens I currently have. I want to fix that. So we're going to teach some golems to empty eggs into dispensers. So let's go ahead and give them an empty core. And now that they're alive and have no instructions, they have no idea what to do with themselves. I just gave them life to give them life. Hello. And we will give them purpose. I will tell them that they need to deliver. But you only need to deliver. You only need to deliver Eggs. Only eggs, friend. Only eggs. Good. Better. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh, God. The hungry chests were eating everything else, I realized. So same for you. I'm going to teach you that you only touch eggs. You live for eggs. Only eggs. Yeah, make eye contact. Fucking make eye contact. Go. Only eggs. Into the dispenser. I believe you. There you go. Now, normally in a closed system like this, I would have a third golem set delivering eggs that aren't meant for this process to a third area, and those eggs would just be for cooking and stuff. But I'm going to try and make this as self-sustainable as I possibly can for right now. Because that's all I want. I want a massive number of chickens. I want them now, and I don't want to work for it. Besides making the golems. So from there, we're going to introduce a new friend. We're going to introduce the button. And a new type of golem. Called the Interact Golem. Or the Push Golem in this case, I think it was. No? What's the name? Use? Okay, Use. It's really on the nose. It's the Use Golem. But these will do more or less what it says on the tin. They will use what they're told to interact with, if they can. In this case, they will interact with, hopefully, their home. So I will tell you... Oh, or not. Back up. I will try and tell you to touch that button. And there you go. And you do the same thing. Touch that button. And now we're getting somewhere. The circle of life can begin. Emmy. It begins. Now this should be fully autonomous now. So let's throw a... Maybe I should aim these somewhere else.
Yeah, you're gonna end up killing all your...
They don't do damage last time I checked.
Eggs hitting chickens?
They flash, but they don't do deal damage. It just knocks them back. I think. Let me pelt the chicken with eggs. For science. it does like no damage to them at all. Okay, now that we've done that though, let's continue pushing this in. Continue making this easier for the golems. Okay, from here, because we got this figured out. They're just gonna be spastic forever and touch these buttons. These buttons. I'm glad that they can't break them, because they will. They've officially worn out their welcome. God. I somehow found the same music from the Black Desert Quest one. The sheep quest. These things just happen, I guess. So, hello, Kibo. I'm currently building something for servers. Like, it's just a, it's a design blueprint I'll call on later. Because I can't do this from memory most of the time. When I figure it out, and figure out the material costs, I'll start planning for it there. But I'm just teaching golems to fully automate farming chicken for me. And telling them where to stick it, which will be the blood altar. That's gonna be an entirely different design challenge though, because I can't send baby animals to the blood altar. It doesn't work. They won't get sacrificed in the future. That's one of the rules of the mod for blood magic. No children. Can't sacrifice children. I am A-okay with that. So I will not do that. I think I've already done that. Okay, so The main one I'm messing with right now is called Thaumcraft. It should be the 1.7.10 version by Anzor. And you can pretty much Google that. Give me a moment. So and it's very heavy magic mod. Oh, okay. Hello there. Hello, hello. It's purely conjecture at this point, but I'm trying to figure out if I can actually bring that back, because I'm having a serious nostalgia trip right now. And things like this that I'm designing will probably find its way on there, but... Well, the good news is I have it all intact. The cost of upkeep was what killed it before. I had to move from Seattle, Washington to Oregon. Don't regret any of that. It's beautiful out here and I got DME.
Yeah, hi guys.
I've been burying chicken this whole time.
Not Portland.
Grants Pass, Oregon. Huh?
Don't tell city.
Do what now?
Don't tell the city we're in.
Dead. Alright.
Well, it's too late now.
I mean,
We live in Southern Oregon.
I don't know, I've never been worried with Southern people.
Especially since we live in a small town.
Yeah, I guess. I will be more prudent in the future.
Thank you.
Oh, nice. Be sure to take pictures and stuff. Oh, hey, Sam, good. So the info thing should fill you guys in on what I'm doing. We're pretty much done with step one though, which is I needed to teach some golems to collect eggs and collect feathers, ignore the feathers in their chest, and then have another pair of golems deliver the eggs through mirrors to another set over here. Then what these golems do is they'll empty the hungry chest, bring it to the dispenser, and they'll fire the eggs back in. And from there I'll just have infinite chicken power. We have Thaumcraft golems. So I can actually show off what this will do. I'll throw some eggs down. So they collect them. Outside ones, pick them up, send them over there. Then they bring them to the dispensers. And then they fire them back off in here. And if I'm lucky, some of the eggs will hatch. There we go. I think I've about figured out the radius of where they operate. If I push this all in, one more on the sides, they should have no difficulties gathering any of this. Yeah, these are from the Thaumcraft mod by Azinor. Thaumcraft is the one mod for Minecraft that I endorse so heavily that I can no longer play vanilla Minecraft without it. It feels like it's part of the core experience. It feels like it was missing from the base game almost. That's how well designed it was, and how well it fits in with the rest of the style. So the main draw of Thaumcraft is, as a wizard, you're not just throwing around spells and stuff, you're a researcher. So they tap, it's like magic science almost. So you have something called the Thaumonomicon. Mine's entirely full at the moment, because as a creative world, I cheated for this so I could build all this. But you start out with almost a blank book, and you do these little puzzles to complete research challenges. And every time you do that, you get a new thing to play with and mess with and master. So in this case, I'm messing with golems, because golems make life really easy. If you don't have time to, like, in my case, feed myself, apparently, golems can help do that. They help you automate half the stuff. They work as a player in place of redstone devices, like manual operation. So you can think of them as super fancy comparators almost. That can seek out targets that are part of your designs and tasks, and just have them do stuff with it. Like I have them really simple over here. They're just pressing buttons, but I could make them press multiple buttons too. So they could actually act like something. Say you have, what is it? I'll go ahead and build something I know off the top of my head as an example. Say you have one of those systems with like detector rails. Let's just have a standard outfit. And let's go ahead and let's make a A/B sensor. So, what this is doing is pretty much literally what these guys are doing over here. But these guys do it much faster. Much more efficiently. And that's only scraping the surface of that. Each one of them moves about as far as you could see this enclosure. And you can tell them to do multiple things, each golem. So you can have one golem doing the gathering, one doing the harvesting, one doing lumberjacking. You can have one sorting the inventories, and then a last few pair just collecting stuff, like very specific stuff, and throwing it into another chest. The golem chains are pretty much endless at that point. So I consider them mobile redstone. Yeah, they're pretty much maids. You could even give them... Hold on. Since you mentioned it. Let's go ahead and make them little butlers. I was making tiny little handsome bubbles. Can't do too much review, but Amy, look, the little Kana. They got spectacles and bow ties. Yeah, I guess for the sake of this stream, I'm going to have them all be classically dressed now. My assistants. Yes, all sharply dressed. There we go. 3 sides? Yeah, I did. Alright, I'll fix the last side. Golems are also super quiet. They don't make any sounds normally. But you gotta appreciate it. I'm guessing a chicken suffocated and it thinks it can reach it. But no, we figured out one design now to mess with. Now I need to figure out if I can make it so that I accelerate the growth rate of chickens and deliver them to a blood altar. That's gonna be hard. Let's go ahead and prototype a blood altar now. Now let's just assume for now that I can't get the highest end one. I'm doing this entirely by memory now. It's been a while since I built a full capacity altar. No, that doesn't seem right. Hold on. Oh, I was close. So I'm gonna build the altar, get that confirmed working, and then I'm gonna build a ritual inside it. Oh god, I got flux flow. Okay, that's where I put these. Last layer. So these are runes of sacrifice. Every single one of them boosts the rate of blood gain on the altar by 10% accumulatively. So it's not a huge boost, but loading it up like this is gonna make it real nice for me in a bit. Snip off the corners now. Oh boy, this last tier is real expensive. tier 3. Should be tier 4. Tier 5. And then the beacons and the gold are tier 6. After this. Tier 5. Oh, okay. Tier 5. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll just do this for now. I'll have a tier 5. Because tier 6 looks unreasonable to even prototype at the moment. Is it still on the ground? Oh, okay, it's one more in the ground. So if this were flush with the ground, it'd be fine. I just have to build it on the ground floor, or not, if not underground. Let's get this set up. I want this to be self-sustaining before I, Yeah, no, Endermen don't move too much. Let's just, sacrifice Enderman. Creepers? Creepers. We'll sacrifice creepers to the machine. enough blood in here and personal network to sustain a ritual indefinitely, which is the goal of this. These chicken are useless to me for nothing but food and feathers, for the most part. Unless I can make this work. And then I could have 3 different mods running off of chicken power, basically. Which is dumb, but I like the sound of it, so that's why I'm streaming today. So we'll about fill this. Million life points. I would be cheating if I were playing Yu-Gi-Oh right now. So as I mentioned before, there's enough room down here to put in a ritual. I don't remember quite how. Ritual stone. I need one of these. A whole bunch of these. Ritual stone. So I'm looking for a certain buff here. Or certain ritual. It's called the Well of Suffering. Okay. Might need more space to work with. I'll have to figure out the exact part I can make this possible without messing with the actual structure. The extraneous blocks, like the marble, it's not needed. I could have the altar exist as a floating structure, but those are always ugly, so I can either build it into the design itself or stick it under it. I'm pretty sure I only need to stick the feathered knife one in here. The Well of Suffering, I can probably... Wait. Ooh. I might have solved my problem already. I will figure that out after I mess with this, though. I need to know the exact height I can get away with this under the altar. Because in that case, I'll have two configurations. I'll have one for that. I don't want to do that. I'll have one for the sacrificing, and then I'll have, if I ever get bored with that or want the chickens to regenerate or something, I'll switch out the runes and have the self-sacrifice one, feathered knife going. So I guess we'll start with feathered knife. 1, 2. So it's looking like this is the height I can get away with it. If this were a well of suffering, this is what I would do. I would stick it under the area up there, meaning that the blood altar itself would probably be the capstone of the tower. And the area underneath it is the golem thing that I set up. So these inscriptions make up the ritual grammar. It's really simple. You just make certain patterns for the rituals, and you have to figure out what those are. But since blood magic's been around so long, those are almost pretty much common knowledge at this point. that's what this one would look like. Ugh. I messed it up. I wonder if I can compel adult chickens to move towards something in one of these mods. Slime boys. Okay. So I'm going to end the stream relatively soon, but I'll be picking this up tomorrow after I do a bit of independent research. I want to see if there's anything in Thaumcraft that will play left. No, that's not good. You're lopsided. And I was blind. I'll fix this in the morning. Emmy and I are in the closed beta for MapleStory 2, and we will be streaming that together tomorrow at about 10 a.m. Pacific time, or PDT, Pacific Daylight Time. Pretty sure that lasts for about 3 days, or it's broken up between those 3 days. So I will be seeing you all then. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, while I was figuring this out. I'm actually pretty happy with this first step. This can help me sort a lot of my inventories pretty quickly, because I can apply this this same philosophy to any other item. So I can have lumberjack golems be standing on the outside and more or less accomplish the same thing. If I had a system where I stuck a whole bunch of things here in the same vein as this, I can just have like a little circle compartment room that acts as a golem deployment bay, and you'll just see them busy running out and in. And then you'll have like 3 or 4 golems that are tasked with sorting the actual double chests that'll be wall to wall. I can see it now. It's gonna be wonderful. I could prototype that some other time though. I'll make a stream of that too. Item sorting is another beast entirely, and that also requires an independent sorting core. I think the one thing I haven't taught golems to do yet, that I haven't experimented with, was decanting. So, doing the alchemy stuff for me. So, I'll probably figure that out at some point. Yeah, we're waving goodbye. Furious button pressing. Hope you guys had fun.